let's go flying.
Alright, well, welcome aboard flight 0042 today, I think it is. We are currently flying over Lake Anau. Lake Anau is New Zealand's second largest lake, but it is the largest volume of fresh water in all of Australasia. It has a length of 65 kilometres out the right-hand window, all the way up to the start of the Milford track, and a circumference of around about 350 kilometres. Channel traffic, Delta Romeo India, airborne for lakefront, climb through 1,000 feet, control gates for the power station. On board today we have a lovely bunch of coconuts, no. Anyway, no singing. No, we have a lovely bunch of friends here. We're off to see what we can see today. We're a bit dubious about if we can see Dusky and Doubtful, but we're going to try. Alrighty ho. Now, down here on the left are the control gates. Now there is no power generated here. This is just to try and control the lake level. It's also one place that you can drive to and walk a bit of the Kepler track without doing the whole lot. The golf course on the left also, only $70 for a game of golf. On the left hand side we have a great example of rural farming New Zealand. On the right hand side we have the Fiordland National Park, how different they are and how all the region would have been before we colonised. Alright, down here on the left's a bit of a laugh. There is a tar seal road that ends at an alcove cut in the river. This was made for the Queen Mother in the 1960s for her coronation tour. Problem is, they never turned up. So now we use that to launch the jet boats from. Over here on the right we have a swing bridge. This marks the end of the Kepler track at Rainbow Ridge. This is one more place you can drive to, walk a bit of the Kepler track without wearing yourself out. Also over on the left, these brown swamps. These were used as the swamps of Mordor in the second Lord of the Rings movie.
Those lifting exit hangers floating 26 west.
Underneath us are a couple of the Lord of the Rings movie locations. Over here on the left, about halfway down this long straightaway river, was one of the very recognisable movie locations. And then on the other one, on the right-hand side, over here, it's the second to last sweeping corner down here, was very recognisable. The Upper Waiau River that we're flying over is one of the best freshwater fishing rivers in the world. There's approximately 400 fish per kilometre in this river. But it was made more famous because it was used in the first Lord of the Rings movie for all the river scenes. On the right, the Iris Burn. That's where the Kepler track comes out to Lake Manapuri. The town on the left is Manapuri, and that's home to about 300 people only. Also on the left, the White Mountain is Mount Titiaroa. Mount Titiaroa is a pummel granite mountain, giving it the impression that it's snow-covered year-round, even when it's not. We're now coming out to Lake Manapuri. Lake Manapuri has been voted New Zealand's most picturesque lake. There are 33 islands in it, and almost all of them are forested. It is most famous for the power station at the far end, and we'll talk to you more about that when we get there. Down here on the right, this is the power station. Now, this is probably what makes Manapuri most famous. It took 10 years and 14 lives to build the first tunnel between Lake Manapuri and Doubtful Sound in the 1960s, and the second tunnel was done in the late 1990s. To this day, that's still New Zealand's greatest engineering achievement. Again on the right hand side, this is the Wilmot Pass looking up Doubtful Sound, and we're going to be on the other side of that pass in about 45-50 minutes. We are passing over the Southern Alps of New Zealand. Now, the Southern Alps are the world's second fastest growing alpine system. They are being caused by the tectonic plates pushing between New Zealand and Australia. It's not volcanic. Now, if it wasn't for the terrible westerly weather patterns and the erosion that goes with it, this would be the fastest growing alpine system in the world. Truth is, these mountains are still growing at the same rate as your fingernails per year. And what is really good, we don't normally come this high on this trip, but it does allow us to see a lot more of the Southern Alps. Everything you see around here is granite. There is no dirt. All of this rock at one stage used to be under the earth. Way off in the distance on the right, we can actually see Stewart Island. Off under the wingtip here is Lake Poteriteri. We never see Lake Poteriteri on this flight. That's quite neat. Alright, over here on the left now again, another fjord that we don't get to see very often. This is Chalky Inlet. Now, what's interesting is at the mouth of Chalky Inlet, that is the end of New Zealand. If we could turn a left-hand turn now and keep flying, the next stop is Antarctica. Wow. story as we're travelling down here in Dusky Sound. You would have heard the name Aotearoa. That is the Maori name for New Zealand. And the English translated that to say land of the long white cloud. Now you can see why they would think that. Look at that. But I was over in Rarotonga and they informed me that the English mispronounced it. It's not Aotearoa, it's Aotearoa, which changes the whole meaning of it. And it actually, New Zealand, Aotearoa, translates for the love of the gods. So there you go.
Trust the English to get it wrong.
Right. This is Cooper Island, it is. And then I want to talk to you about what's on the left because I think the clouds are going to make it difficult to see. And I don't want to go down. We sometimes do a landing if we allow, but with this turbulence at the moment, I'm going to give that a miss. At the very top end here, you'll see that Doubtful Dusky Sound splits off to the left, and there's a cove down here called Cascade Cove. Just to the left of that is a wee cove called Pickersgill Harbour. Now, Pickersgill Harbour, Captain Cook on his second voyage brought the Endeavour 2 into here, and it was pretty beat up. So he had to effect repairs. So for 2 months, he found a wee cove, felled a tree to use as a gangplank, and he fixed the Endeavour. While he was doing that, he cleared off an acre of scrub and did lunar and solar astronomy. When he was finished, Astronomer's Point was the most accurately plotted place on the planet. And that's, to explain it, Cascade Cove is where the two boats are at the very end. Come across the right to the next cove, and there's a wee little white boat just at the right-hand side of the island. That is Pickersgill Harbour. On the right, the Anchor-on Passage. Great view of that. This is the way that Captain Cook left Dusky Sound. And up on the top right is Resolution Island, New Zealand's 4th largest island. Also of interest out here on the left, just right above Cascade Cove is Mount Sparta. Now, Mount Sparta was the first mountain in New Zealand to be conquered and climbed. But in true European fashion, they got to the top of it and then set fire to it, just to prove they'd been there. Right here, I'm going to do a rather tight turn to the left here because right beneath us, I can't believe we've actually got a really good view of Pickersgill Harbour, which is right down here with the single boat in it. Captain Cook put the Endeavour, you see 3 fingers pointing upwards. It's the middle finger, which was the one he used. There you go. Cascade Cove, which was the first colonisation of New Zealand. So if I put your crook, it might have been the far left-hand finger. I'll come around again and I'll double check that for you. Can't tell porcupines, I get in trouble.
Wow.
Now you get a really good view of all of Dusky. Look at that. Wilderness. So there's 3 fingers that point out. It's the far left one. Alright, we're now going to travel up the Anchor-on Passage. Now, this is a great time to mention that the Fiordland National Park, not only is it the largest national park in New Zealand, but it's also a World Heritage Park, and it's the 2nd largest in the world. About 1.2 million hectares. 99% of it has never been and will never be touched by human hands or feet. And I can't believe that only half an hour ago we were saying we couldn't get here.
Doubtful traffic, Yankee Romeo, is over here, Detroit, 1002.
Right is a wet jacket arm. Now the wet jacket arm is its claim to fame. This is where they released all the moose into the Field National Park. The problem is there was an incident where they released 18 moose in here. The locals didn't know what they were, so they shot them all. The problem is that the moose have extremely big antlers, and we've got very, very dense bush. So the last known confirmed evidence of the moose being here was in the late 1980s. That's mainland New Zealand. On the left we have Resolution Island, New Zealand's 4th largest island. Right, this is the Breaksea Sound. On the left is looking out Tasman Sea. If we turn left now and keep flying, the next stop would be Australia. We don't have the fuel for it, so I think we better go to the right. Looking at New Zealand today, over here on the left is one of the cruise ships. I don't know what the name of it is, but certainly there it is. Amazing. Underneath us on the right here is the crooked arm of Doubtful Sound. On the left hand side is Dag Sound, looking out towards Tasman Sea. Now down here on the right you can see where Dag Sound and the crooked arm don't quite meet by a mile. Alright, if it did, this would be another massive island. Alrighty, well here we are over Doubtful Sound. On the left here is the Bradshaw Sound, and then off towards the right is looking back towards Deep Cove. On the left here is the mouth of Doubtful Sound. You can see why Captain Cook would be so dubious about bringing his wooden tool ship into these uncharted waters. There are many, many fish hooks to become stuck into. Now I'm going to do a left-hand turn, and we'll put the mouth of Doubtful Sound on both sides of the aircraft. Doubtful traffic, Delta Romeo India's east end of Balzer Island, 6,700 on the climb, Lake Brown. Now it is true that Captain Cook discovered Doubtful Sound, but he wasn't the first person to come in here and claim it. That honour went to the Spanish. So they named Balzer Island and the Malaspina Reach just behind us, amongst other places. This is the first arm over here on the left hand side.
Amazing.
Wow.
There you go. Now on the left is the Bradshaw Sound, underneath us the Malaspina Reach. On the left out here is Secretary Island and the Thompson Sound. That is Lake Chamberlain. And then we have Lake Brown. Now Lake Brown over here has the Lake Brown water slide in it. I have been told that we can't call the Lake Brown water slide a waterfall because the water never actually leaves the earth. But Wikipedia puts us as one of the highest waterfalls in the world at about 7,000 feet. Either way, it's stunning.
Brilliant.
I'll
Absolutely.
do a wee zigzag here because on the left-hand side also is Campbell's Kingdom. Now, if you have a chance to see the Art of Fenor movie, and I hope you do, Campbell's Kingdom features in it. I'm going to do a right-hand turn so we get a good view of the Lake Brown water slide, and then we'll head up Campbell's Kingdom.
That is amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, Art of Fenor movie in town plays every hour on the hour, each evening or every late afternoon at the Picture Theatre. I recommend it. Best $12 you'll spend.
Oh, that is amazing.
Delta Romeo India, mouth of the Campbell's Kingdom, 7,100 for Battle Pass. Over here on the left, they call this the Camelots. Beautiful colours down here.
Yeah, amazing. And that's all the different clays, is it? Washed down on the glacier type of thing? Or?
Yeah, it's natural ore. There's lots of natural ore in here, but being a national park, you're not allowed to mine it.
Right.
Alright, we're now over the South Fjord looking out on the right hand side. This is Anau. We have to figure out some way of getting down without getting trashed. Out the left here, this is the South Fjord. Now there are only 3 freshwater fjords in the region. All 3 of them are here on Lake Anau. The South Fjord is about 1.5 times larger than Milford. It's less accessible, there's no roads to it, and for that reason alone I find it more valuable. You will notice a lack of beaches here, and that is quite normal for a glacial formed waterway. Mount Luxmore on the right hand side, almost the highest point in the Kepler track, and on the left hand side, the Murchison Mountains. Now the Murchison Mountains are where the takahe were rediscovered. The takahe was thought to be an extinct native bird to New Zealand, but apparently not. It was just its day off.
How can someone be so blue and I stay here?
No, I'm a terrible fisherman. Right? I hate fishing. I love catching, but I hate fishing. Now, down here on the right hand side, we're going to do a wee bit of a circle because underneath this is the Hidden Lakes. Now, the Hidden Lakes were caused because the glacier came out of the South Fjord about 14,000 years ago. Parts of the glacier broke off and melted in the dirt. It left the 13 hidden lakes of Anau. Only visible by the air, these lakes are up to 120 feet deep each. And we're getting a good view of it as we're just going to circle and let ourselves down.
Oh, fantastic.
There you go, the Hidden Lake at the top right hand corner was the first tourist attraction in the region in the late 1800s, and you can still take that tour with a number of cruise boats here on Lake Anau. Righty ho, well, we're going to take some time to get down now because it is a wee bit bumpy. Thanks for joining us. If you've got your seatbelts on, we'll take you back in for a landing eventually.
Well, I don't know about the rest here, but...
One more thing we don't normally do, but seeing as how we're taking our time getting down, we can just take you for a bit of a tiki tour over town. This is the town of Anau, home to about 3,000 people only. boat that's leaving the harbour at the moment. That is the Luminosa, and that is the Glowworm tour boat.
Don't forget to mention the pies.
Oh,
That bakery, oh, that was
miles better pies.
oh, miles. Yeah.
Now, have you tried their sausage rolls?
No. No.
Their sausage rolls, I'm sure, are the best in the world I've ever tasted.
Right, well, we're going to go and get some sausage rolls.
Yep.
And I'm going to get a lamb and mint.
Oh,
This
yeah.
morning I had a venison and plum, and that was out of this world.
Yes.
So,
oh my God, so good.
We're going to go and try them.
I was about to tell you the venison and plum.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what we are having for lunch today.
Yeah.
I search for an angel. I'm searching for my Savior.